"Who is there?" The words left her mouth before she realized she was standing. They echoed through the house. Thin, frightened, wrong. Clara Whitmore stood barefoot at the edge of her living room, one hand braced against the back of a chair, her heart pounding so hard she could feel it in her throat. The glass doors leading to the garden reflected her own shape back at her. Pale, shaking, alone. No one answered. The house stayed quiet. Too quiet. Clara hated that she had spoken out loud. Hated that she had broken the fragile illusion that she was still in control. Because now, whatever had been watching her knew she was aware. And she was being watched. She was certain of it. The feeling had been building for days. It had started small. So small she almost missed it. A sense of being interrupted when she stepped into a room. The faint awareness that something had shifted behind her while her back was turned. The kind of unease people explain away because admitting it feels embarrassing. Clara was not a woman who embarrassed easily. She was 46 years old, widowed, and wealthy enough that most people never spoke to her directly anymore. They spoke around her. Through assistants. Through lawyers. Through polite, careful distance. Her home in Greenwich reflected that life. Gated, immaculate, layered with technology designed to make surprise impossible. Cameras along the fence line. Motion sensors beneath the soil. Glass break detection on every door. A smart system that learned her habits better than most people ever had. Which was why this feeling terrified her. Because nothing had triggered. No alerts. No warnings. No errors. And yet, she had not felt alone in days. Clara took a slow step toward the garden doors. Her reflection trembled in the glass. Outside, the garden lay perfectly still. Trimmed hedges, old trees, stone paths that glowed faintly under discreet ground lighting. A space designed to be admired, not entered. Her late husband had loved this garden. He used to joke that it looked like somewhere secrets would be buried. Clara had laughed then. She wasn't laughing now. 3 nights earlier, she had noticed the chair near the back hedge wasn't angled the way she left it. Just a few degrees off. Barely noticeable. But Clara noticed details. It was how she curated collections worth millions. She checked the footage. Nothing. The following night, one of the rose bushes looked flattened. As if someone had knelt there. Or waited. Again, the cameras showed nothing. By the 3rd night, she stopped sleeping normally. She began waking around 2:30 a.m. every night, heart racing, convinced she had heard breathing that wasn't hers. She would lie perfectly still, listening, counting the seconds between the soft mechanical hums of the house. Sometimes she whispered commands into the dark. Check perimeter. The system always answered calmly. All exterior zones secure. The voice never sounded worried. Clara started keeping the lights on. She told herself she was being ridiculous. That grief had rewired her nerves. That living alone too long made the mind invent threats. But the mind doesn't invent patterns. On the 5th evening, she noticed something new. 2 failed access attempts. Her gold display room. The most secure space in the house. The system log showed them clearly. 2 biometric rejections. Same time. Same window. Someone had tried, and failed, to access it. Clara stared at the screen until her eyes burned. She hadn't told anyone about the jewelry room's new configuration. Not since. Her stomach tightened. Leonard. She hadn't thought about him in months. She didn't want to. Leonard Brooks, her former private chef. A man who had worked in her home for over 2 years. A man who knew her routines better than some of her relatives. Who knew which nights she stayed up late cataloging pieces. Who knew where she kept the keys when she was distracted. She remembered the way he used to linger near the display cases, pretending to clean while asking casual questions. Old gold like this, he once said. It survives everything, doesn't it? She had laughed then. She hadn't laughed when she fired him. That night, Clara locked every door manually, even the ones the system already controlled. She poured herself a drink she didn't want and sat facing the garden, refusing to look away. Time stretched. At 10:48 p.m., the house chimed softly. Motion detected. Garden. Zone 3. Clara stood so fast the chair tipped backward. Her hands shook as she pulled up the live feed. At first, she saw nothing. Then her eyes adjusted. A shape stood near the hedge. Not moving. Not crouching. Standing. As if waiting. Clara zoomed in. The camera struggled to focus. Then the face resolved. Her breath left her lungs in a thin, broken sound. Leonard. He wasn't wearing work clothes. He wasn't wearing anything distinctive at all. Just neutral colors. Blending in. Like he had planned for this. He looked thinner. Sharper. His expression wasn't angry. It was patient. Clara's fingers slipped on the screen. The feed glitched. Then went black. Not disconnected. Disabled. Clara backed away from the doors, her mind screaming he knows the system. Her phone buzzed in her hand. No caller ID. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. A soft sound came from the kitchen. Glass. Not breaking. Being tested. Clara whispered, "Who is there?" Again, quieter this time, as tears burned her eyes. Somewhere in the house, a door unlocked. The first thing Clara understood was that the house no longer belonged to her. She felt it the moment the lock disengaged somewhere behind the walls. Not loudly, not dramatically, but with a soft mechanical click that carried far too much meaning. Leonard had always admired the house. He used to walk through it slowly after everyone had gone to bed, touching the counters, the walls, the glass displays like they were proof of something he deserved. Clara remembered that now with horrifying clarity. The system lights dimmed. Not off. Just lower. As if the house itself were trying not to be noticed. "Leonard," Clara said, her voice cracking despite her effort to keep it steady. "You don't want this." No answer. But she heard him. Bare feet against stone. Unhurried. He didn't rush her because he didn't need to. He knew the layout. He knew the exits. He knew which rooms echoed and which swallowed sound. Clara backed toward the hallway, heart slamming so hard she felt dizzy. Her phone shook in her hand as she tried to unlock it. No signal. The house's private network had gone into isolation mode, something Leonard himself had once helped configure during a security upgrade. She turned and ran. Her first mistake was heading for the study. She slammed the door behind her and tried to lock it, hands slick with sweat. The handle turned anyway. Not forced. Unlocked. Leonard's voice came softly through the door. "You never changed that one." The handle moved. Clara bolted through the opposite door, into the side corridor that led toward the back stairs. She slipped on the rug, caught herself on the wall, and felt a sharp pain bloom in her shoulder. She didn't stop. She burst into the kitchen and reached the sliding doors. Locked. She slapped the glass with the heel of her hand. Nothing. Behind her, Leonard stepped into the light. Up close, he looked wrong. Calmer than any human should be in that moment. His eyes flicked briefly to the ceiling cameras. "Already disabled," he said, almost kindly. "I knew you'd rely on them." Clara grabbed the nearest thing she could reach, a heavy ceramic bowl, and hurled it. It shattered against the counter. Leonard didn't flinch. He moved fast then. Not wild. Efficient. He caught her arm and slammed her against the island. Pain exploded through her ribs as the air left her lungs in a sound she didn't recognize as her own. She clawed at him, nails scraping skin, but he shoved her down hard. She hit the floor. Her vision tunneled. Warmth spread beneath her side. Blood. Leonard stepped back abruptly. Not in triumph. In panic. "You weren't supposed to bleed," he muttered. "You always said you'd be careful." He turned and ran. For a moment, a horrible, disbelieving moment. Clara thought it was over. She lay there gasping, the house spinning, listening to his footsteps fade. Then the pain caught up. Her breath came in shallow, broken pulls. Her fingers tingled. She tried to sit up and couldn't. That's when the house spoke. Emergency detected. Clara didn't remember activating it. She didn't remember saying anything at all. But the system had been watching. Impact force. Sudden loss of balance. Blood pressure drop. Immobility. Contacting emergency services. Somewhere deep in the walls, a call connected. Clara tried to scream. Nothing came out. Her vision darkened at the edges. She drifted. Came back. The kitchen lights brightened slightly. Footsteps again. Leonard. He hadn't left. He stood at the doorway now, breathing hard. "You shouldn't have that," he said, staring at the ceiling like he could see the system listening. "You shouldn't need it." He stepped closer. Clara dragged herself backward with her elbows, leaving a dark smear on the tile. She reached the pantry door. Her fingers closed around the handle. Locked. Leonard grabbed her ankle and yanked. Her head hit the floor with a crack that filled her skull with white noise. She stopped fighting. That scared him more than resistance would have. He hesitated. And in that hesitation, the house escalated. Emergency confirmed. Police dispatched. Leonard froze. "You lied," he whispered. The sound of sirens reached the house faintly. Distant, but real. Leonard backed away. Then lunged. He ran for the display room. Clara heard the biometric panel beep. Denied. Again. Denied. He screamed then, a sharp, animal sound of frustration. Glass shattered. He grabbed what he could. Gold pieces. Chains. Anything that fit into his pockets. By the time police forced entry, Leonard was gone. Clara was unconscious. She woke up in a hospital bed 2 days later. She survived because the house had acted when she couldn't. Leonard was arrested 48 hours later trying to pawn gold that still carried her private authentication marks. Clara never returned to that house. But the house remembered. If this story left you breathless, if the near misses made your stomach tighten, if it reminded you how quickly safety can turn, subscribe now for more true crime survival stories, where instinct, technology, and seconds decide everything.